Who is Ling great against? Ling has a large HP pool, but he also has a lot of ways to deal damage. When his main ability, Slashing Strikes, won't do, he can always fall back to his Shadow abilities. And this makes him one of the more independent heroes in Shadow Fight Arena. Now, he's equally great against heroes who counter Shadow users like Liquidator Kate or Helga. Let's talk about Ling's moveset. Opponents may find it difficult to close the distance on Ling, and Ironclad mains, beware. His quick attacks and unexpected lunges are perfect for keeping your opponents at bay. And also his moveset works wonders against lower heroes. You can interrupt their deadly attacks or block them and quickly retaliate. Of course, the tips mentioned above will work against almost anybody, and yes, he's that good. So remember, interrupt or block and retaliate. And what about Ling's ranged attack? This old master has a few tricks. One of them is Ling's Flask. His unique ranged attack deals damage on a relatively close range. It allows you to punish anybody who attempts to quickly close the distance. Also, Ling's Flask is quite hard to dodge. With the use of talents, Ling's Flask can support a wide variety of playstyles. It can restore health, give you shadow energy, and even charge your Slashing Strike. Speaking of which, now let's take a look at his main ability, the Slashing Strike. This ability activates 2 successful hits, allowing you to deal critical damage and, more importantly, break through an opponent's block. But be careful. The opponent's successful attacks reset the Slashing Strike counter. So your attacks have to be consecutive for this ability to activate. Slashing Strike gives you a huge tactical advantage. It puts pressure on your opponent and forces them to change their strategy on the fly. Slashing Strikes is truly a scary thing. To activate this ability, it's best to use Ling's quickest moves, his low and basic attacks, or moves with 2 hits, his special attacks and, again, basic attacks. They allow you to quickly charge your Slashing Strike. Now remember, when you scored 1 successful hit, don't rush. Take your time and try to exploit your opponent's mistakes. Block and retaliate when you need to. And try to play defensively. At this time, it's crucial not to let your opponent hit you. But when you finally do activate this ability, slash and strike him down with all of your might. Now, let's move on to his shadow abilities. By default, Ling has only 1 shadow ability. You shouldn't rely on it too much, it's pretty difficult to execute. But it has 2 attacks, so you can use it to effectively charge your slash and strike. So powerful, but hard to use. Try to enter shadow form only when you're sure that you could land your shadow ability. With the use of the right talents, you can unlock 2 more shadow abilities. This turns Ling into a dangerous shadow warrior. But remember that it's quite hard to combo his shadow abilities together. So you still have to be sure that you can land at least one of your shadow abilities when you enter shadow form. Alright, so let's talk about his weaknesses. Heroes with long-range attacks can become quite a challenge for Ling. For example, Shan the Monk or Felcher Azuma with their long-reaching weapons. If you're facing heroes like that, it's crucial for you to try to close the distance. Don't let them run away. You may find a few talents that can make these matchups easier. A few closing thoughts. Ling is a definition of jack of all trades. But with enough practice, he can become a master of all of them. He feels quite comfortable on early arenas, where the pool of heroes might not be very diverse. But With time, you will have to begin to adapt to different matchups using clever talent builds or your fighting skill. This old dog is definitely ready to teach young ones a few new tricks. Easy to learn, hard to master. This hero lane is waiting for you in Shadow Fight Arena. And remember, Katana, Flask, and experience above all. Welcome to the arena!